I remember that night like it was yesterday. The scent of roasted chicken filled the air, the silverware clinking as my family sat around the dinner table. Everyone was laughing, joking, and of course, looking at me. I had always been the quiet one, the little dreamer, the one whose hobbies were considered nothing but time wasters. That evening, my hobby, photography, was the topic of their jokes. What are you going to do with that? A few pictures for your tiny Instagram? My cousin snickered. Oh, that's cute. You still think it's a real job? My uncle added, shaking his head. I smiled politely, keeping my lips tight. Inside, I was boiling. This wasn't just teasing. It was belittling the hours I'd poured into learning, experimenting, and perfecting my craft. But I didn't say a word. I stayed calm. Little did they know, while they were roasting chicken and roasting me, I had been quietly building something far bigger than their narrow minds could imagine. Over the past 5 years, my little hobby had turned into a full-blown business empire. From freelancing photo shoots to creating a global digital media company, I had become the CEO of a company that had clients in New York, London, and Dubai. My photographs weren't just liked. They were sold to magazines, websites, and major corporations. And tonight, they had no idea who they were dining with. As the laughter continued, I took a sip of water and let it slide. There was no need to rush the reveal. It started with subtle drops. I casually mentioned a client meeting in New York. Oh, that's nothing. I said, just a call with our international team about the latest project. My aunt raised her eyebrows. International? Really? I let it go. A few minutes later, I talked about one of my photos being featured in a well-known magazine. My cousin laughed. Oh, come on. That's just a hobby, isn't it? That's when I decided it was time. I pulled out my phone and showed them a recent company report. Annual revenue? $3.2 million. Global partnerships? 12 major brands. My uncle's jaw dropped. My aunt's eyes went wide. My family went silent. I'm the CEO of this company, I said calmly, letting the words sink in. The table was frozen. The laughter had stopped. The jokes? Gone. The little hobby they mocked was now a multi-million-dollar empire they couldn't ignore. I could see their minds racing, trying to process the irony. The same family who had laughed at my passion and my quiet dedication was now looking at me with a mix of shock and admiration. I smiled and took another bite of my chicken, savoring not just the meal, but the moment. That little hobby of yours seems to have paid off, my cousin finally whispered, almost too late. Yes, I replied, calm and poised, and it's still just the beginning. That night, I realized something important. Never underestimate the power of patience, passion, and persistence. People will always laugh at what they don't understand. But when you let your actions speak louder than their words, the world has no choice but to notice. By the end of dinner, my family had a new respect for me, not just as a quiet one, the hobbyist, or the dreamer, but as someone who turned their passion into an empire. And the best part? They didn't see it coming.